All right, this is section 1.5 homework in WebAssign, and notice that for this particular problem, number 23, they are asking you to graph h of x equals x squared minus 7. Of course, you may have a different function here. Usually the numbers in red are randomized, so you may have a different one, but it will work the same. So I see that because it's x squared. We know the shape of that. So what is the shape of that? It's a U, or it's called a parabola, technically, right? It's a parabola. We know that since the degree is 2, we would have a parabola, and our leading coefficient is 1. Since it's 1, we know that it's positive, so our U will be upright. It will be up. So I know that this is my shape again, but we need to come up with points, right? How do you figure out what the points are? Well, you create a t-table. You create a t-table. You plug in numbers for x to see what numbers are come out to be your y's. So for example, I like plugging in 0. That's usually the easiest number to plug in, x, right? 0 squared minus 7. What is 0 squared minus 7? That's negative 7. So I know that one point on this graph is 0, negative 7, right? So I'm going to click this parabola and click on 0, negative 7 here. Let's try it again. Click it twice. So let me make that point. It looks like you have to click it twice until it's blue. Y'all saw that? That's a little tricky. So click it twice because you think you clicked it, but they want you to choose between this parabola or this parabola. But since we have a leading coefficient here, it's going to be that parabola. And then, and our x is squared, not our y is not squared, our x is squared. So 0, negative 7, let's plot that. What is another point though? We need at least 2 for WebAssign to help us out. All right, let's plug in 1. 1 is another nice number, 1. If you plug in 1 into x, you have 1 squared minus 7. What is 1 squared minus 7? Well, 1 minus 7 is negative 6. So I know that another point on this graph is 1, negative 6. So I'm going to click, make sure this is blue. I'm going to click both of these here. 1, negative 6. Now, notice that WebAssign helped me with everything else. So I only had to provide WebAssign with 2 points. And notice, let me just say this. See how the points popped up over here? Let's just say, oh, you made a mistake, and no, it's not really 1, negative 6. What if it's 1 something else? So you could change it if you want to once those points pop up on the right. See that? You could change it to whatever you want to change it to. All right. If you want to change it to any of this, you can change it. Any of these points to whatever you want to change it to. If you want to change this to negative 3, you can, right? So just want to let y'all know that this is probably the best, is to see this panel on the right and you plug in the actual number that you want, right? But notice that I had to start with clicking on the parabola, making sure it's blue. I clicked on the points, which helped us, and then WebAssign help you with the entire parabola. To determine whether the function is even, odd, or neither, it looks symmetric to me, right? It looks pretty symmetric here. All right, so because it's symmetric, I can fold it across that y-axis. Let's go with even and submit the answer. Let's see what happens here for number 23. We got it right. All right, let's try 24. 4 minus 2x is, what's the shape of this function? What type of function is it? It's linear because we have x to the first power. 1 is our degree, therefore we're going to have a line here. So I'm not going to use the parabola. I'm going to use the line. Notice that it's going, if I click here, this option here at the at the bottom right here. They give us some line segments and all, some arrays, but I'm gonna go with this one because our function continues in both directions forever and ever, right? So I'm gonna click on that, and it's blue. Notice it's highlighted in blue. That's what you want. Now let's plug in a point. Y'all know my favorite point of my favorite number to plug in for x is 0, right? 4 minus 2 times 0. So if I plug in 0, what would I get out for y? Well, it'll be, if I plug in 0, I get 4. So 0, 4. Let's click on that. And then let's click on something else, because notice that our little panel on the right did not even pop up. So we need to provide WebAssign with some more information before it trusts that we know what we're doing. So if I plug in 1, for example, and again, you don't have to plug in 0 and 1. You can plug in any number you want that's on this axis here. But if I plug it in 1, because these are easy numbers, 4 minus 2 is 2. So if I plug in 1, I get 2 out. So I'm going to click 1, 2 here. And look, it helped me. If you click this panel on the right, notice that it gave us the panel of the points. I wish they would give you that before you had to do that, but they did not. And maybe WebAssign will update this so that you all can understand how to use it more easily. But for now, that's how it's working, you guys. All right, so determine whether function even, odd, or neither. I'm going to click the functions neither, even, odd, or neither, submit my answers, and see what happens. All right, okay, so that was number 24. We got it right. So that's pretty much how you graph in WebAssign.